Hi guys, I'm Jessica and you are watching Blue Ridge Bubble Works. Today is our second soap in the Funny Farm collection. This is going to be a cow soap and it's just going to be so much fun, I know. But I think I'm going to name it like Betsy or something like that. So something that you would think of like an actual cow being named. But let's talk about the colorants. First of all, we've got our matte white pigment powder for oil by Crafter's Choice. I'm using activated charcoal from Brambleberry, and I will be using some mocha brown from Nurture Soap, and this brown I have mixed with a little bit of the white just to tone it down a little bit. Also, for our fragrance, we'll be using Egyptian Musk by Nature's Garden, because you don't actually want to smell like a cow. If you've never been around a cow, I wouldn't say that they're like disgusting smelling, but it's not really something that I want to put on me, you know? So we're going with something completely different. It's just one of my favorite fragrances. I use that fragrance in the soap that I make specifically for my husband. I can't remember if I've made that for you guys or not. I'll have to go back and look, and if I haven't, I'll make it for you sometime to show you how I do it. But I make him a 100% coconut oil soap because he is a mechanic, and that helps get the oil off because he comes home covered in grease and oil, and it's not overly drying because I have a very high super fat percentage in it. But I use that Egyptian musk in his soap, and every time he takes a shower, I just follow him around like a little puppy because it just smells so good, and he smells so good. But anyways, let's look down here and get started. So I have my oils here, and I measured these out several days ago, and you can see that the coconut oil, I don't know if you can see, there's like a lump in there. That's the coconut oil, but all this flat down here around the bottom, that is the palm oil. It re-solidified because it is cold in my house. So I've got my lye water right here, and I mixed this up maybe 10 minutes ago. It is still quite warm, and we're going to pour that into here, and this is going to melt these solid oils. All of the hard oils have melted down. You can see there's still a couple little teeny tiny pieces in there, but that's okay. They will get incorporated. I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrance oil and separate it into my three colors. I got my white. I remembered after I put the white in here that I actually wanted less black than anything else. So I'm going to add some of this batter into the white, and that way there will be a little bit less black. So the black tends to clump up, gets really clumpy in the cup, and that's normal and it's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It just takes a little extra stirring to get it to come apart, and there are still little clumps in there. So even though this is definitely not the color that I want, I'm waiting for last. As you can see, look at that big old chunk right there. I'm going to, all of these are going to get stick blended, but obviously black has to be last. Otherwise, everything else will be tinted darker, and I definitely don't want them to be darker, especially not the white. So I'm going to put that back there to remind myself not to do that one yet. Oh, and this is turning into the perfect brown. That is exactly what I wanted. All right, so now I'm just going to give all these a quick stick blend to get all, because these two both have white in them, and the whites always need to be stick blended. And then charcoal also always needs to be stick blended. So we'll get this going, see how it works out. It smells yummy. All right, so these look pretty good as far as everything being incorporated, but they're a little bit runnier than I would like them to be before I pour. I would like them to be a little bit almost gloopy. So I've got a nice light trace going on. I'd like it to be a solid medium trace before I pour it. So I'm going to give these a couple minutes and then we'll be back to pour it. Okay, so I have given this several minutes to set up. It's actually still a little bit more liquidy than I would like, but I am too impatient to keep waiting. So we're going to go ahead and pour it. I went over and I washed some dishes and I sat and talked to my daughter for a little while, and I think this is just as good as it's going to get for now. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to pour it like a ploppy, gloopy drop swirl is kind of what I'm going for. And then whatever is left over is going to go in a piping bag. And then, well, you'll see what we're going to do with that. So let's start with, and I think I want white to be on top. So let's see. I'm kind of making this up as I go along in case you haven't figured that out. All right, let's just pour some and see what happens. And the black, and try to pour from up high because I do want it to be, I don't know what I want. I keep saying I want one thing. I don't really know what I want. So let's just see what happens. All right, I'm going to save this white for the top. You know what? I'm going to get the rest of that black out. Let me wipe this off my finger, off my glove, because I would not touch the raw soap with my bare finger. All right. My original plan, if you can call it a plan, because like I said, I was kind of just going with the flow, was that I was going to put it, whatever was left, in a piping bag and go across the top and kind of make it look like a little tuft of hair. But I don't know. Thinking that's probably not going to work. Whoops, I'm dripping it on my table. So what I'll do instead is I'll just sculpt it. So let's get the white on there to kind of cover up the black a little bit. Oh, I definitely need to pour this right-handed. All right. Get all this scraped out. And get it spread out a little bit. It's all right if it's not like perfectly covered. I think it might actually look better if it isn't. All right, and let's get the brown on top of that. But in order to sculpt this, I mean, if you could see, that is still pretty liquidy. So, oh, here we go again. I'm gonna give it some time to set up again. See that? I speak fluent Italian. I saw that the other day. It was like, how to speak fluent Italian. And it's just hands like this, going like this. So, don't actually speak Italian, but I do speak with my hands quite a bit. All right, so I'm gonna let this set up some more, and hopefully we'll be able to actually finish this next time. All right, y'all, it has been over 20 minutes. I ended up taking a lunch break. I did some more dishes, and this is still like the consistency of thin pudding, but I'm done waiting. So we're gonna go with it. All right, I'm gonna just take and kind of plop this down in the middle. See if I can do this without making too much of a mess. So ploppa ploppa. There's actually more in there than I thought would be, than I thought there was. That's all right. Still, I don't think this would have been enough to really use the piping bag. I would have had to make more. And I really just don't think that would have worked. So I'm glad I decided to do it like this. There we go. All right, let's get all of it out of here, because the more I get out of here, the less I have to actually try to wash it out. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take this little popsicle stick, and I am just going to try to make it stand up a little bit in the middle. It's not set up super stiff, so it's just going to have to be kind of sticking up in the middle, but not really what I had in mind. I think it'll be fine. Just rambling. I need to stop rambling. All right. You know, and I think this will actually be kind of cute like this. I'm going to just give it some spikes. And you know, I just had a thought. I really hope when I cut it, it doesn't just look like a cow pie on top. Great. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to cut it and it's going to look like a big poo, because it kind of looks like a big poo right now. Oh. All right, I am done with this soap. I'm done until it's time to cut it. We'll be back later for the cut.